Hey guys, welcome to the Autopilot Ecom Profit video model, and in this video I'm going to show you how I outsource my entire system, the stores, the t-shirts, so that everything is handled by someone else and you can focus on the much more important tasks and move on with projects as your empire, e-commerce empire, continues to grow. You want to be growing your empire by leaps and bounds, not wasting time. This is very, very important. Time is money, and money loves speed. Always remember that. So I'm going to disclose with you my secret of how I completely automate my entire e-commerce t-shirt business on autopilot so that it can bring you income for month and month to come. Now that you have the basics understood and hopefully have processes in place, it's now time to scale your business up to maximize profits. You are the boss, don't forget it. So you need to start delegating the daily tasks to others. And guess what? That begins by learning how to outsource the work, how to keep everyone on the same page by running a well organized business and putting training in place. When it comes to outsourcing, you need to take the steps of your business and process them out into a simple of a step-by-step process and system as you possibly can. Take the steps and list them out so that anyone can follow the single tasks so that when they are put together in the right order, they are not so complicated and your team can easily understand. My highly successful approach is to put a few easy to understand and easy to follow processes in place and outsource the daily tasks to others. I just hired multiple designers and a couple of virtual assistants. Sometimes your virtual assistants can act as project managers, and other times you'll need to hire professional project managers. So, with virtual teams, you can run your business 24 hours a day. Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to work 24 hours a day. Once you have your processes and teams in place, you can take off much more time than you probably are now and earn much more money than you are now, all for less work. Now, for your e-commerce or t-shirt business, there are a few pieces that you need to fulfill so that you're ready with the products and you can start making sales right away. And basically, it comes down to a series of things. You want to build teams that, like I said, automate processes that can take care of a series of things. These things are research, graphics, advertising, bookkeeping, campaign creation, product fulfillment, customer support. This is my main system right here that happens daily in my business. You want to handle all of this. So, first off, the research. We have research, and there are a series of tasks to take care of, like finding new products, looking at the competition. You want to research and be up to what's new and what's happening in the marketplace, okay, every, let's say, week and month. And of course, this needs to be outsourced. Just doing a web research and putting together a doc with all the data that you want to know. Graphics. This is for if you do t-shirts, cell phone covers, or products that require custom graphics. Graphics are extremely important for selling t-shirts. You gotta have an awesome design if you want to sell them long term. You need awesome graphic designers. So you need that plan. When it comes to outsourcing, I have a plan set up. For example, for graphics, for let's say I have a first draft, control the quality when it's done, and then upload. Okay, these are some of the tasks that I delegate. And each piece of the puzzle is important, and it's a constant moving system. Third, the campaign creation. Every time you have a new product or campaign, for example, let's say t-shirt campaign or Facebook ad campaign, you need someone to set up those pages. In this case, Shopify sales pages or email squads pages, anything like that, blog pages, you need someone that is going to create those, okay? Next one is advertising, and this is where you get into ads. Getting traffic and making money from your store, you need to process this out. First, you need to get the metrics and see how well your ads are performing or bad. Your employee needs to know ROI, CTR, all the stuff. You need to teach him this, so then you can see if you can bump up the ad this much, or if you don't hit a certain metric, you shut it off right away. You need to tell them what to do, if they can scale or not, bump up or not. Okay, so bookkeeping is the next one. You want to know how the numbers are performing. Okay, the expenses coming out from different areas, new products, shipping costs from China. In this case, I always buy from pretty much from AliExpress. All different type of stuff that needs to be taken care of and tracked, so you know your exact numbers and what you need to spend each month. Okay, so you need to know your numbers to see what's going on. Outsource this as soon as possible. You need to create something like a daily theme, a daily to-do list, something like that. Have a project manager keeping track of everything. Customer support is another very, very, very important aspect to take care of, so you can have your customers super happy. Always serve them. Okay, you need someone who understands sales so he can turn into more and more sales. Product fulfillment is another very important aspect for the arbitrage dropshipping system. As I explained in my course, you need to fulfill that product. The reason why you want to delegate this task sooner or later is because you want to be able to handle 200, 300, 400, 500 orders per day for the products that you are fulfilling. So you need someone in there to handle this process automatically. Okay, so this is my main system of my e-commerce business and t-shirt business. And now if you do content email system, for example, you might need also some content writers, project managers in place, which manages the teams, what's going on, the writers, etc. Each process is broken down into very easy, simple steps. What needs to be done each day, check mark off, and I have them broken down into process charts so everyone can know exactly what's going on. For example, I'm going to show you my process for the t-shirt business, but I repeat, it can be applied to other physical products too, like for example, necklaces, watches, jewelry, just be smart. So let's get started with the details now. So you will need 6 resources that are free to build and automate your e-commerce empire. In this case, I'm going to show you specifically for t-shirts, but like I said, it can be applied for other physical products as well. So most of these resources are completely free. They connect you with the people you need and help you share and organize information across your team. The resources are free, but obviously you have to pay the people. So the good thing is that there is plenty of competition out there. That means you have plenty of people to choose from, and you can hire top quality people at a very low cost. So the first resource that you will need is Upwork. Okay, so let's begin with Upwork, and just go to upwork.com. Follow basically this link right here to create your free account. This is one of the largest websites for finding top-notch freelance talent, and it's one of my favorite. This is where you go to find graphic designers, virtual assistants, and any other skill that you might need. Project managers, of course. So Upwork has tools in place enabling you to review past work of these people before you hire them. Okay. You can also ask them to submit examples of their work that relate to your project. You can also communicate with them at any time before and after you hire them. Alternatively, you can hire freelancers that you need at other platforms if you want, like Easy Outsource or I think Bitsreef or any other one. Okay, I've used both and I'm truly amazed at the level of talent I've found at both. So another possibility is Fiverr.com. When I want to find people that design killer logos, I just go there and it works wonders. The another resource that you will need is Dropbox. Okay, as I read this, they are offering a free 14-day trial period. After that, it costs $15 per month for up to 5 users, but just give it a try. I mean, it's free basically. So this is a great file sharing site and also functions as a backup should something happen to your important files. Okay, by having your team members store all of their working files on Dropbox, you can view their progress at any time. Now these are my folders. I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do. Don't worry about it. It's also a great way for organizing your work. As you can see here, your designers can have their own folder and create additional folders inside for each project they are working. Your project manager can have a different folder and update project reports on a regular basis that you can view when you want to. Organization is the key here. If you're not organized, you'll have trouble keeping track of all your projects. If you're not the organized type, you can assign that task to your virtual assistant. Another resource I recommend is Google Drive, which you can use to create, add, or upload a file with a single button, easily find and add shared files, single click a file to select it, double click to open it, drag and drop files and folders just as you do on your desktop. You can share files with others and choose what they can do with them, view, comment, or edit, access your files even when you're not connected to the internet. Okay. The last resource is Skype, and you will need Skype to keep your team on the same page. Skype will be vital to chat and communicate with your team. See your team come together with free group video calls and stay in contact with them for updates. Don't procrastinate. Sign up for these resources right now. This is how you leverage your team to grow your business fast and to any size that you want. Like I mentioned you, my e-com business and t-shirt business is completely automated. I'm always in contact with my teams to give them directions, ideas, but all the hard work is completely outsourced. Outsourcing is the name of the game because everything gets done faster, quicker, and easier. Along with these resources, you build your own systems and processes. Make sure everyone or your team follows the processes and you'll get stellar results. So, now, I want to show you exactly how I've created and how I have automated my e-commerce and t-shirt empire. You will need to begin by hiring, like I said, a virtual assistant at Upwork or any other websites you have been introduced to. He or she can help you find others to fill the other roles and can also help you put processes in place. An experienced virtual assistant has often worked with others that have the skills you're looking for. They can connect you to some of the highest skilled freelancers in the business. After working with them for a while, my VAs now create entire e-commerce t-shirt funnels for me, sales funnels. I mean, like, they even set up campaigns and create ads for me automatically. I just create the audiences and I just handle them to them. They just set up and fix the ads for me. Sometimes they create complete ad sets. This is exactly what my guys are doing now. I still often do the niche research and then give them a few instructions about how I want to approach the niche, and then I turn the entire project over to them to develop and implement, execute. You want to find highly ethical and completely honest VAs because you're probably going to have to give them limited access to some of your financial accounts, specifically the accounts you use to pay for marketing. So I don't suggest that you run out and hire several VAs to start several projects from the beginning. Just as you have been doing up to this point, keep building your business, but do it logically and steadily. Bring on one VA and a couple of 3 designers to get 6 or 9 projects going. After you have your processes in place and fine-tuned, you can bring more on. If you are on a limited budget, these first projects can begin funding additional projects and additional freelancers. So, you want to start, like I said, by hiring the best virtual assistant. Log into your Upwork account and select Post a New Job. Your headline will need to read something like Virtual Assistant Needed for Growing E-commerce T-shirt Business, okay? So, depending, of course, like if you still run the T-shirt business, you will leave that one or otherwise delete it and just leave e-commerce, okay? So, the category is Admin Support Personal Virtual Assistant. And now, next, you will create a short description here of what you're going to want the VA to do. As previously mentioned, it can include finding highly qualified designers, developing processes, in organizing your new account folders. Oh, something I should mention here, many of these freelancers are outside of the USA, so you should stipulate that they have a solid working knowledge of English. Next, you will list here all the skills that you're looking for, okay? For example, outstanding customer support, strong communication skills, attention to detail, project management, to separate them from other types of VAs, self-motivated, marketing assistance, managing social media, able to write and set up ads, polite and respectful, anything else you think you need. So quickly, after you have completed all the listing here, the job listing, you will just post the job and you will begin receiving application for the job. I can tell you will start getting like around at least 15 or 20, depending on how much you're offering to pay. This could be an avalanche or a trickle. To learn more about the going pay rate, I suggest you log in as a service provider and take a look at what other similar projects are paying. What I can tell you about pay rates is that at the very bottom, you'll find people outside of the USA that don't have a command of the English language. Be skeptical about hiring these people. Also, you'll find people at the low end that are trying to break into the business. Their skills probably haven't been honed yet. Okay? If you want to make this easy for yourself, hire someone with experience and a proven track record. At least some of their previous work will have reviews with comments from the people that hired them. Read these reviews and take them seriously. Don't rush through this process. Once you have narrowed your application list down to 3 or 4 people you think are the best qualified, open a chat box on Upwork and have a conversation with them. Have a few questions prepared that are specific to the first project you want them to work on. Or if you have set up your Skype account, you can interview them there. You will also train them as well. Yes, because unfortunately you won't find the absolute perfect assistant, okay? But you can create it. You will make him perfect by training him and telling him exactly what to do. He will be a person you can totally trust and you can rely on. Quite likely, you won't find any assistant that has the exact experience matching your project. They might have never done marketing for, let's say, the soccer mom or the German Shepherd niche, okay? But you should be able to find ones with experience doing niche marketing. I do, however, frequently check their progress and quality of work by going into individual Dropbox folders to view their work. So after you have posted your job, you are going to set up Dropbox, okay? So creating and naming your Dropbox folders is important to organizing both your team and your projects. You are creating these folders to send docs to your team members, VA and your designers, and videos if you need to train them. These people may have other clients that also use Dropbox. That means your freelancer might be able to see other folders that you can't see. These will be folders created by other employers. To make it easy for team members to find the folders that I create for them, this is the naming format that I use. David plus name of my project manager, okay? I'm just showing you here. I have set up this quickly to show you. Inside of the top folder, okay, have the project manager create folders for each project being worked. For example, design, ads, and niches. You will create 3 different folders. You will do this for a proper communication when you will use Skype and we'll set up a group there so that when you will talk to your team, you will say something like, okay, I need this particular design created for this particular niche. Your VA understands and contact your designers and give them particular instructions. Once the design will be ready, they will upload it to the right folder, design in this case, okay? You want everything organized. Your VA will take the design, set up the campaign, and will follow your extractions. I like starting these project names with a date created. That way, they automatically sort themselves by date. Otherwise, they'll sort alphabetically, and I find I have difficulty finding them sometimes. This is the basic format that I use. David, name of my project manager, and then date of project name. Okay, another folder you want inside the top folder is one for the designer. It should go something like this: David, name of my project manager, and designer's name. Okay, it's basically a fairly Simple system, but it keeps your work very organized and you can easily find what you're looking for. Something else I do is create an archive folder under each project manager. Okay? When each project is completed, I have the project manager move all of the developed files here. That way, you know all of the other project folders are actively in work or waiting to be assigned. Now, the one with your project manager is going to be a shared folder. Just find the button at the top that says share a folder, okay? It's right here. Enter the email address of everyone right here that you want to share with it, and it will automatically send them an email notifying that a folder or file has been shared. If you need to create other folders, you can follow this basic scheme. You may hire a marketing person separate from your project manager. Simply create a folder with the marketer's name on it, the way you did for the graphic designer. You may or may not want to create a separate folder for ads. I suggest that each ad used with a particular project be kept inside the project folder. However, you can set up a separate ad folder where you keep copies of your best performing ads for future reference. Another folder might be set up for demographic data. This can be good if you're planning to run multiple campaigns in the same niche. Inside your folder with a project manager, you will also create a folder for the specific campaign concept you're going after. Okay? So you will do this for every campaign concept you will have. So for example, you will name it 1, name of campaign concept / concept, 2, name of campaign / concept, 3, name of campaign / concept, etc., etc., etc. Now, inside each of these folders, you will create also subfolders, and you will name them. I generally do this for the ads. So I create 2 folders, Facebook ads and retargeting ads. When your VA is going to set up a specific Facebook ad campaign, it's going to save everything in its specific folder. For example, he's going to save the image so that we can create a specific image page post-engagement ad. Everything he will create for the ad, we'll put it here. After he sets up the campaign, he just copies the images from here. Once he creates the ads, okay, he copies them in that folder so that we can easily refer to them in case we need to do or fix something by ourselves. You could even create more subfolders if you want to and make it even more organized. Now, for the retargeting ad folders, which is this one, this will be important at a later date because once you are ready to create the retargeting ads, you will give your virtual assistant precise instructions to create retargeting. You don't want to do it immediately because, as you probably know, you need to do it only when the campaign has reached a certain amount of people inside the website custom audience, and because obviously not all your campaigns are going to be winners. We hope so, of course, but you will do this for every campaign you will create. For example, campaign 2, campaign 3, etc. Same exact folders. Okay? Now, the same thing happens with a shared folder with your designer. You will have different folder and you will name them after the design concept you are focusing on. Okay? Let's say you have 4 different design concepts. You will name it 1, design concept, 2, design concept, and so on. The VA will get access to this folder too, and is shared with the designer as well. This is because once your VA gets a notification from your designer that the design is ready, boom, he goes create and set up the campaign. You will need to give them precise instructions. In this folder, you will collect all the designs that your designers have created. They are all there for you to check. Once this is all in place, starting a new campaign is as easy as having a short Skype conversation with your VA, explaining the niche, demographic you want to target, a concept of the t-shirt design, and the marketing budget. Your VA takes it from there. When the design and ads are created, they are uploaded to the correct folder for you to review and approve. That simple, that easy. Everyone knows where everything is at. One last comment, I think everyone on the team should have access to every folder. Personally, that's what I do. However, it's essential your virtual assistant does have full access. Okay? So that's why it's important that you hire the right people for the job. The next thing you want to do is setting up your Google Drive account. Once you have hired people and have your organization in place, it's time now to set up your Google Drive account. Your Google Drive account is vital for your team to access docs, files, Excel spreadsheets, or whatever might be important to them. Okay, once you are inside your account here, just create a folder and name it something like T-shirt team, like I've done here. You just go here, new, and select folder, and you create the folder right here. Okay, I have named it a T-shirt team because I'm showing you the T-shirt process, but you can name it like e-commerce empire, commerce team, or something like that. You can name it anything you want, but think about keeping your files well organized. So inside your top folders, you will again create subfolders so that you can keep your materials organized. Okay, I have created another folder called My Campaign Ideas. One subfolder might be named My Campaign Ideas, with several spreadsheets, each for a different niche and each campaign ideas you and your team members have come up with. You might even have a spreadsheet just listing the niches you want to research further and want to go after, even the potential audience. For example, niche concepts like gym, eat, sleep, gym, lift, eat, or gym, lift, play football. Whatever concept you can think of for your t-shirt design. Inside the t-shirt campaign ideas folder, there are going to be spreadsheets ready for each specific concept we are going after. You will create spreadsheets right there in the column on the left. Just click on the red button, new, then select Google Sheets right here. Just begin a spreadsheet and label the first column. Like this is the spreadsheets that I have created quickly for you. So you will create the first column, you will name it niche right here, the next potential audience. Okay, so you will start listing here all the niches you want to research, and as you find audiences, information, potential audiences you want to target, record it in a second column. Okay, the potential audiences. You will list here all the potential audiences. Okay, list down the people that you can potentially target. The secret is to go for a niche that has an audience that can be easily targeted. Then on another column, if we have the audience already, we mark it with an X. Okay? When you are ready to start a project, create a third column for the graphic designer that is going to work on it, so your VA can mark it down if the niche was already assigned to one of the designers. Like I said, start with a few people first, but then you will have a lot more. For example, right now I have I think 10 designers. Everybody has its own specific folder. The next column is going to be for audience insights. You will need to tell your VA if the audience will be ready to be targeted and set up. This way you can give him the green light and say, okay, this concept is ready to be targeted. So he goes in, assigns each specific niche to the designers. They bring them back. The finished design will be uploaded to his or her Dropbox folder, and your project manager will set up all the campaigns. Also, create columns for each team member on the project. This is how you and your VA can keep track of all the projects currently in work and list future possible projects. Then you will just rinse and repeat. Simple and totally automated. To recap, your top folder is named My Campaign Ideas. Okay, My Campaign Ideas. Inside you have a monitoring worksheet. You will have a monitoring worksheet. You also have a list of ideas for campaigns and concepts you're looking into. This should be a Word document so you can capture all of the concepts you're going after. Capture everything in these files. Okay? You never know when an idea you have today might be perfectly timed at a future date. Remember to put everything down on paper. Inside your niche folder, make sure you list specific designs for specific niches that are not scalable. For example, niche soccer and all potential ideas you're going after. Like you can list all the phrases and sentences or funny jokes that would do very well with soccer players or anything else. I said soccer. There are literally millions of niches out there. You can pretty much use one of the spreadsheets like this ones. Important is the scalable concepts part. Mark it down as done if you already went after it and killed it, okay? Or mark it as doing if you're currently working on it. That's pretty much about it. I mean, I hope it makes sense. It might be a little bit complex, but once you get it rolling, it will be very easy for you to get started. I just hope it makes sense. Once you have created this folder, give access to your project manager, who will be the one that will coordinate the designers too, and basically everything else. Some niches are extremely scalable. You will be coming up with new ideas for days. You can possibly remember them all. This is how you keep track of all that data. The last thing that you want to do is setting up Skype, and this is pretty easy. Skype is the last account that you need to set up, but that doesn't mean that it's less important. Okay, this is how you are going to stay in constant communication with your team. This is pretty simple. All you need to do is add the Skype identity of each of your team members. This includes your project manager, virtual assistant, graphic designer, whoever is in your team. Then you have some options. You probably want to group all of your designers together so that when you want to communicate with them, it's easy to do. Same thing with other groups when more than one person is performing the same role. Next, as you start getting projects started, you probably want to create separate groups of the specific people working each project. That would likely include a graphic designer, project manager, and VA. When you give instructions about a specific project, everyone knows their exact assignment and knows what others are responsible for. This is a place you can determine if the people you have hired are self-motivated. If they can't be bothered to show up for a group meeting, they probably aren't going to be the best team members. Starting a session is as easy as opening a chat session with your VA and then clicking the Add People button to bring in the others. Okay, once your business reaches a certain size, you are probably going to form a management group. Typically, this will be your VAs and project managers. It might also include someone you have researching niches. At that point, you may decide that you only need to communicate directly with a management group, and they can send information out to the others that have a need for it. You will be able to monitor everything they are saying or doing. This is important to always stay updated on what's going on and make sure no one is lost. Still, back in the Dropbox folders, you'll be able to monitor progress and track results.